welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Rene, and I'm an IFBB Wellness Pro. And in today's video, we are going over my top 5 glute exercises to build the badunk-dunk. Since you guys like the quad workout one so much, I figured why not just do every single body part? So I'm getting ready to go to the gym, and I'm going to walk you guys through how to do each exercise. And I'm also gonna add in a couple of variations just in case you don't have the machines, or if the machine is taken, or if you just are lazy like me sometimes and you want the simplest setup. So let's go. Okay, first I want to mix up a little bit of pre-workout. So I'm gonna do 1 scoop of the Enduraformance. This is in berry lemonade. It helps with muscle fatigue, hydration, and keeps you going when you start fatiguing during your workout, like halfway in, you're like, I'm done. So you guys have known I've been using this for a really long time now. Well, that's false. I have been telling you guys a lot recently that how much I love this because I was sleeping on it and I didn't even know it was an option. And I love doing it for my glute days because I don't know why, but I have the best glute pumps ever when I have a scoop of that. It also has creatine in it and a little bit of green tea extract too, so that you can have energy. It's not very much energy, so I'm gonna add a scoop of the Megawatt, which is a pre-workout basically. So it's the energy and the focus for the workout. So I'm gonna mix those two together and we're gonna start sipping on it on the way to the gym, and then I'll finish the rest of it during the workout. Okay guys, so before we get into the top glute workouts, we have to start with glute activation. Look, I was sleeping on this when I first started lifting, and now it's a must. I do these before I start any glute workout. First, I put my Gym Reaper's band that's about a medium resistance right above my knees. And then I go into a squat with my feet wide and my toes slightly pointed out. I want you to imagine you're pushing the outside of your knees out to keep the resistance on the band and keep your knees and calves from caving in. I do a double pulse, then pause and squeeze at the top. I like to do this for about 2 to 3 sets of 12. Then I move into some glute kickbacks. Here you can really focus on keeping the control of your leg because it's very easy to just start like swinging it and then you lose the tension in the glute. We're gonna do these for 2 sets of 12 on each leg, pausing and squeezing at the top. Next, we're moving into some lateral band walks. Here, I want your feet to be a little wider than hip distance, and as you noticed, I never give the band any slack. I take baby steps side to side, keeping all the tension without releasing any. The minute you bring your legs together to close, you lose the tension in your glute. I like to touch my upper glute here to help me know where I should be feeling it. Do this for about 2 sets of 12. Lastly, we're gonna go into clams. Lay on one side and stack your feet on top of another. The foot on top is going to be your working leg. Now you'll lift your foot and you are going to feel like a squeeze right at the top of the glute. Flip to the other side and do 2 sets of 12 on each leg. Now let's move into some top glute exercises. Number 1, barbell hip thrusts. What you'll want to do is find a bench and load your weight on the bar. I like to use my Gym Reaper's barbell pad here to protect me from bruising my pelvis. After the barbell pad is on and you roll the barbell over your pelvis, make sure it's aligned right in the center. Then you'll place your hands right outside the pads. Then I like to pull my legs in so that I can have them at about 90 degrees when I thrust up. If you'd like, you could turn your toes out slightly here to target your glutes even more, but it's up to you. Then I make sure to have my upper back positioned on the bench. Then, using your glutes to thrust your hips straight up and squeeze. Unlike a squat where you push through your heels, on a hip thrust, you'll want to focus on fully extending your hips until you can't move the weight up any further. Now, when you're coming up, you want to make sure you're looking forward, you have your chin tucked and your rib cage tucked down, and squeeze your glutes as hard as you can at the top. Hey, look at you. You're hip thrusting now. Here are some other hip thrust variations. Here I use a preloaded weight to do a B stance and a froggy hip thrust. If you're just getting started, the preloaded weights are great until you can build up the strength to go heavier on a barbell hip thrust. Number 2, the Romanian deadlift. So you want to start off with the bar on the rack and place your hands right outside your thighs and a little wider than shoulder width. Now, stand up with the bar and take a couple steps back. You want to have your feet at shoulder width. and your legs should be just inside your hands. Before starting, you want to brace yourself by lifting your chest up so that you can keep your spine straight. Now you want to push your hips back. I always like to imagine I'm pushing my hips into the wall behind me. On the way down, the bar should be right in front of your shins. I recommend having a slight bend in your knees. Make sure to lower the bar to the point where you can't push your hips back anymore without involving your lower back. Once you start feeling your lower back, that's when you know you're going too low. Usually the bar will end up coming down to your mid-shin. Here are some other RDL variations. Here I used a landmine and make sure to use the same form. The only difference here is my grip is now in the center instead of on either side. Next, you can use a unilateral movement. These are great if you have any muscle imbalances. I used a dumbbell to do a single leg RDL. I have my hand placed on a machine to help me balance, and I have my feet in a B stance because honestly, I cannot balance well doing it the other way where you completely lift the non-working leg. Number 3, the glute focus split squat. First, you want to find a bench, then you'll place the top of your non-working foot on the bench. Then you'll take steps forward, and your working leg is going to be out parallel with your knee. You're going to lean forward over the working leg, keeping your back flat. Now, you want to descend at a diagonal, almost the same line as the way your back looks. You're going to do this until your knee is aligned with the top of your foot. Now you should feel a really good deep stretch. Number 4, the sumo squat. For this one, I use the landmine. You can also use a single dumbbell here. You're going to want to step your foot out wide and have your toes slightly pointed out. Brace yourself by pushing your chest forward. Now you're going to come down, but don't set the weight down or let it drop. If you're a shorty like me and you want more range of motion because your legs are short, you can also use plates to lift yourself up, as you see me doing right here. Now back to the landmine. On the way up, you want to make sure your chest stays up and it doesn't start caving in, and you get a good squeeze at the top. Here's another sumo squat variation you can do on the Smith machine. Same rules apply here, but the bar is going to be closer to your legs, almost grazing right in front of your shins, and your hands will be right outside your thighs. Number 5, reverse hypers on a Smith machine. First, you'll want to grab a bench and put it right in front of the bar. It helps if you have a band to lock the Smith machine hooks in place so that you don't have to worry about them moving. You're going to want to place your heels and your toes out on the bar. You should look like a froggy right now. You're going to come down slowly and then push through your heels up, squeezing your glutes at the top. I like to hold on to the bench in front of me so my upper body stays parallel to the bench. And that, guys, is my top 5 glute workouts. Now let's go build that peach. Okay, my loves, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Comment down below what kind of video you want to see next. And as always, I love you all so much. And you're more powerful than you think. Bye!